Coach Joy McCulloch here with Big Wheel Coaching. Checking in again from the garage because we want to piggyback on last week's video on some skills and tactics to help you be a more proficient rider. Now, Coach Brian and I are really passionate about helping ensure that each of our athletes are confident and competent cyclists on the road, which will allow you to come home safely after a great training session. Now, think about when you're on the freeway. Most of you were probably changing lanes, going 55 or maybe faster, and you changed lanes safely at speed, and you made it to your exit. Now, a lot of times on the bicycle, changing lanes is very complicated and very dramatic, drastic movements. We want to think about those movements as like you're dropping a pebble into a pond, and they can have really big reactions. Okay, so think about those water circles as they come out. We want to be very calm and collected on the bicycle. Now, some things to think about are when I'm on the freeway, I'm looking up the road. I'm seeing well beyond where my front bumper is. Same thing on the bicycle. I want you looking, if you're in a small group, and I know you're not in big groups right now, but if you're with a couple other riders, can you see 3 to 4 riders up the road? Can you see the pothole coming? Can you predict that a light's coming? Just like you would on the freeway, because you want to get out of the way from a slow car. So translating how you drive down to the bicycle. The other thing is, remember, we don't want to be very twitchy with that front end. So when I turn my head, the steering wheel doesn't come with me. Just like as you changed your lane today, you moved your head, the steering wheel didn't come. Now, the ironic thing is, like on the bicycle, as soon as I turn my head, my bike comes with me. And that goes to what we talked about last week of not having my arms locked out. If I'm locked out and I'm turning my head, the bike comes with me, okay? So exhale, zip up like we talked about last week. In the drops, now I'm able to look over my shoulder and move the bicycle. Now, Coach Brian's gonna help highlight a photo I found that highlights looking up and pointing out stuff and just being very nimble on the bicycle. This was found from my friend's rear-facing GoPro at a big group ride in 2017. You can tell it's old by what I'm wearing. And like the number one key, look at where my head is. Okay, I'm looking way ahead. I'm in a big group of riders. There's probably 60 to 80 guys here, and I'm bookmarked between 2 people I trust. Okay, I've got 2 buddies here, just like we're trying to caravan and go to Lake Havasu, okay, on the freeway. I'm looking up, I'm in the drops like we spoke about last week. My finger's right here on the brake just in case something weird happens, and I'm pointing out the debris in a predictable manner to those who I'm riding with. So I saw this came up in like my memories, and I was like, oh man, this is a perfect example of what we're looking for of being stable on the bike, okay? Next week, we're gonna layer on this with some specific drills and skills you can do on your bike, on the trainer, outside, that can help you be really confident in this. Again, this is a snap from someone's GoPro that I just do this intrinsically. It just happens, okay? But you want to practice it, and so it becomes second nature. So again, eyes up, look where you're going, okay? And have that arm nice and loose. I'm only able to be in the drops like this because my arm is bent. You can tell I must have core engagement here because my arm is bent a little bit. I'm strong, okay? And I'm calling out debris, so I'm not leading all these people through it. So think about it, same thing with traffic. Over time, I've ridden so much, and I'm out solo, and I say I'm pointing out stuff to cars behind me because I'm like, hey, I'm avoiding that pothole, and it just becomes second nature. All right, so something to really think about, keep your head up. It's gonna get you out of a lot of sticky situations, and it might even translate well if you're on single track, on your mountain bike or your gravel bike. Try that this week where you're in a little bit of a sticky situation. If you pick your head up and look through the turn, think about getting it all the way almost to your shoulder, and exhale, you're gonna sail right through that turn super smooth. All right, so we hope to see you next week, because remember, I'm gonna give you a list of tips and some skills to work on to help you achieve these better. All right, so have a great week.